Ghost stories, be it ghost ships or spectral sailors. There's something captivating about the idea of restless souls haunting the endless expanse of water. But what if not all the stories told reside in the realms of fiction? It was the year 1872. The Mary Celeste, a brigantine merchant ship, set sail from New York City, bound for Genoa, Italy. The ship was well maintained, the crew competent, and the weather calm. On board were 10 souls in all. Captain Benjamin Briggs, his wife and 2-year-old daughter, and of course its small crew. Nothing, it seemed, could disturb this standard and well-practiced voyage. But as we know, the sea is not always kind. It is vast, unpredictable, and uncaring. Days turned into weeks, and the Mary Celeste would never reach its destination. It wasn't until December the 5th, 1872, a month after the Mary Celeste had left port, that another ship, the Dei Gratia, came upon the vessel. The Dei Gratia was a brigantine much like the Mary Celeste, but when the crew approached, something was not right. The ship was completely abandoned, drifting aimlessly in the Atlantic Ocean, some 400 miles off the Azores. There was no sign of life aboard. The ship was found in a peculiar state. Her sails were partly set. The hull seemed intact. There was no sign of any external damage. But there were eerie details that couldn't be ignored. When the search party was promptly sent over from the Dei Gratia, once on deck, there was the question, where is everyone? There were no signs of struggle, no blood, no indication that anything had gone wrong, at least not on the ship itself. They found the main hatch closed, but 2 other hatches were left open. A sounding rod, used to determine the amount of water in a ship's hold, was lying on the deck, suggesting that it had been used just before the ship was abandoned. The search party descended below deck. There they found the crew's clothing saturated and 3 feet of water lying in the ship's hold. But this was not an alarming amount of water for a ship of this size, and most probably had entered through doorways and skylights. The ship's cargo, 1,700 gallons of industrial-strength alcohol, had been left behind, as had the 6-month supply of food and water. But this is where it gets really interesting. On a table, lying open, was Captain Briggs's logbook. The last entry dated 9 days previously, describing the Mary Celeste's location as being near the coast of Santa Maria Island, some 400 nautical miles from where she had been found. And the most glaring piece of evidence, a lifeboat was missing. And there they were, the search party, scratching their heads. There was no sign of the crew. No Captain Briggs, his wife, or his 2-year-old daughter. Nobody. They'd just vanished. What had happened? There was no sign of a violent attack, no trail of blood, no broken doors or windows. The ship had been left behind, as if its crew had just simply walked off into the unknown. No trace remained of them. The Mary Celeste was a ghost ship, a vessel in near-perfect condition, but eerily empty. And then, of course, there was the matter of the ship's log. Why had the ship's captain, often known for his meticulousness, not recorded the events that had led to the abandonment of the ship? It was as though the answers were deliberately erased, as though someone or something didn't want the truth to be known. This was some mystery, and dark theories began to take hold. Some suggested that the ship had been caught in an unexplainable storm, one that had left no trace of its passing. Some talked of strange, uncharted whirlpools or forces beneath the sea. Perhaps the Bermuda Triangle? Reports of unexplained occurrences in the region date back to the mid-19th century. Some ships have never transmitted distress signals, and yet were never seen or heard from again. Others, maybe with wild imaginations, speculated that the crew were victims of a legendary sea monster, the Kraken. And there were those who spoke of the ship's cargo, industrial alcohol, which could be volatile, even dangerous. Had an explosion or the risk of one forced the crew to abandon ship in a panic? But that theory quickly unravelled, as there was no sign of a fire or explosion. The truth, it seemed, had been taken to the depths alongside the missing crew. As the years rolled along, the mystery of the Mary Celeste would not stop grabbing the attention of an inquisitive public. And more theories would evolve regarding the fate of this phantom ship. In the mid-20th century, widespread attention was given to the phenomena of alien abduction. Perhaps this was the answer. A more down-to-earth and pragmatic explanation has also been offered, that Captain Briggs, thinking the vessel to be sinking, had ordered the ship to be hastily abandoned. What with the sounding rod discovered on deck and missing lifeboat, this seems like a plausible, although unproven, explanation. And it must be noted that the chronometer and sextant were also not found on board. Perhaps deep down, the mystery of the Mary Celeste remains unsolvable because its story wasn't meant to be told. The sea is full of such stories, dark tales of lost ships and vanished crews, of things that slip through the cracks of human understanding. The Mary Celeste is one of many, but one that lingers most. Because in the end, what if the answer is even worse than we could imagine? The Mary Celeste drifts through the shadows of history, and somewhere in the dark depths of the Atlantic, it waits, its secrets still lost to the waves, its crew still missing, forever a part of the sea's silent, endless mystery.